Hi there, welcome back. So today we're going to talk about anger, rage and resentment. And the reason I want to talk about this is because actually there's not a lot out there about how to process anger. What I mean by that is, how do I move through it? How do I process it? How do I, we hear things like let it go, and that is a psychological understanding. You see, you don't process anger out the head. You cannot rationalize it, logicalize it, intellectualize it away. You see, emotions are held in the body. So the body is the thing that keeps a score. So you have to process it through the body. You can't process it through the mind. So it cannot be a cognitive exercise. But that's what a lot of the medical models will use. It's about symptoms, so it's about learning to let things go. It's a cognitive understanding, a cognitive process, but you can't do that with anger. You can't think it away, intellectualize it away. It doesn't work like that. So first of all, I want you to think about anger. And this is something I want you to really think about. And first, I want you to think about what is evoked when you hear the word anger. What does that evoke inside your body? What does that feel like inside your body? What comes to mind when you think about anger? And this is where you've got to go back to the beginning. You've got to go back to those first 7 to 10 years of your life. Because if on some message you were told in no uncertain terms not to be angry, but then you saw anger being done by either one or both of your parents, then what is the message? Don't do as I say, don't do as I do, do as I say. And so this is where that conditioning, that programming, that mind brainwashing comes into play. What were you told about anger? I don't know about you, but, growing up, if I was angry, I kind of knew on some level that wasn't okay. I think I can't actually remember, and a lot of the time you can't. The first 7 years, you're not really got those memory things happening. And so it's all a subconscious understanding of you imbibing it through the body. And so I knew I wasn't allowed to be angry. Now, obviously I knew that from the messages, the body language, I wasn't allowed to. See, no one taught you how to differentiate what you do. So if I'm angry, then I lash out, and maybe I push, or I'll hit, or I'll shout, or I'll swear, or I'll yell, or call somebody names. So I'll react. But no one ever said, or no one ever taught me, nor anyone else that I know of, I can hear that you're angry, and it's okay to be angry, but it's not okay that you shout and yell and push and punch and call people's names. So I never really got taught how to differentiate my anger from how I then dealt with my anger, or how it manifested outside of me. So if I got angry, I'd react, I'd maybe hit my sisters. I know we used to slap each other, push, shove, call each other names. So there's me acting out of my anger. So I'm not allowed to do that. But no one, as you said, I can see you're angry, and it's okay. I can see you feel hurt. I can see you feel, I'm misunderstood. No one ever educated me around that. So I didn't get that understanding. Now, hopefully we're doing a better job nowadays, and we're actually teaching our kids, I can see you're angry. And I think the new parenting, the new stuff around kids is brilliant. Like we are teaching our kids, it's okay to have feelings. It's what you do with them. And it's the same with anger. So for you, if you're someone who struggles with anger, look back. What did you learn, and what were you taught? Not necessarily by words, but by actions. What was the message when you got angry? And I'm sure, like a lot of us, repress, deny and avoid. And so it's about realizing that's been your programming, that's been your conditioning, and you have to acknowledge that, because anger, if you just keep repressing it, can build up into rage. But also resentment is just old anger. And so this is an energy that you're carrying in your body that unless you process through the heart space, you've got to feel it to heal it, will stay with you. And it might not come out as anger. It might come out passive aggressively, not shutting somebody off, ghosting them, not talking to them. It might come out in sarcastic comments, highly judgmental, critical. I think resentment comes out in lots of other ways that people aren't really aware of. And so they're not outwardly angry or abusive or aggressive, but actually they can be nitpicky, they can be quite harsh, they can be judgmental, they can be sarcastic, they can be quite cutting, things like that. And so acknowledging how you were taught and what you were taught to do with your anger is first and foremost the first issue. Because if when you got angry, your parents then got angry and you suffered, you got a backhand, you got yelled at, you got beaten, how dare you speak to me like that, then you would have sucked that anger up, you would have repressed it to stay alive, to stay safe, so you didn't get hurt. So you weren't allowed to be angry. None of us really were. And so it builds up, and that's what then can become rage. Because you've repressed it for whatever reason. This is huge. We could talk about this for hours and hours, but I'm just trying to keep it simple, and so you can understand it. I'm just going to keep on the time. So the first part of this is, what were you taught about anger? And so we're going to do a quick exercise. So I want you to you can get a pen and paper out, but I want you to do finishing some sentences. So I'm going to say a sentence, and then I don't want you to think about it. I don't want you to even really take any time over it. I want the first thing that comes out of your mouth, the first thing you think. So when I was young, I was taught that anger is... When I was young, I was taught that anger is... Now write it down or think it. The first thing, don't think about it. Don't even give it a second thought. Just say the first thing that comes in to your mind. The next one is, when I'm angry, I feel... When I'm angry, I feel... Another one. Anger is... First word that comes into your head. It's called word association. And what we're doing is we're kind of talking to your subconscious here, because it's your subconscious that will speak initially, immediately. If you start to get up in your head and think about it, oh well, anger's this. No, I don't want you to think about it. I just want you to say the first thing. So those 3 questions. Now, if any of your answers were bad, wrong, not okay, scary, upsetting, whatever they were, if they were negative, that is what your subconscious believes about anger. Whether you think that in your head, that's what you really feel in your heart in a subconscious way. And so it's about understanding, okay, so there's a part of me that thinks anger is wrong. So you have to rewire that for a start. There is nothing wrong with anger. Anger is the most healthiest emotion you can feel. It's what you do with it. It's what you do with that anger. If you lash out and go beat someone up or kill someone, no, that's not going to work. You yell and call people names, no, that's not going to work. That's not going to work for you. No, that's not okay. It's not okay that you do that. But there is nothing wrong with your feelings of anger. And so that's the first part, is about what were you taught? What is your subconscious belief about anger, really? And what did you learn as you grew up? And what did your experiences reveal to you about anger? A bit like me, could you not differentiate what you did and the feeling of anger? So I kind of I realised that if I got told off because I lashed out, I heard that the thing that I heard was anger is wrong. And anger is not wrong. Anger is not wrong. There is nothing wrong with anger. So first and foremost, you have to understand what your beliefs are about anger, how you feel about being angry, what were you taught about being angry. And once you've done that, we'll do part 2, because that's the first part. Anyway, I hope that was helpful. Do what I've asked you to do. Practice, because this is what will really help you understand yourself better. And this is what this journey is all about. You don't change, heal. And healing process is about recognizing who you are, how you've become who you are, what your beliefs are, what your thoughts are about all of these things. And that will help you heal ultimately. Anyway, I've got to go. All for now.